Okay, before you buy a Chevy Traverse or some sort of Dodge SUV, a midsize, I would strongly consider either buying a Jeep Grand Cherokee or a Mazda CX SUV. We'll start with this Mazda. I believe these SUVs are far superior and they look better. And I think the cost is not too bad. I mean, if you had to wait 6 months or so to save up a little extra for like this vehicle, which is a Mazda CX-9, I would do it. In the case of Mazda, they only have like 5 vehicles or so. They don't have a ton of vehicles. And the CX-9 is one of them. So they don't have their attention kind of spread out over so many different models. I think previously they had the CX-9, the CX-5, and then they had like 2 cars. I mean, at one point they had like 4 vehicles. But anyway, this vehicle is well thought out. The ride height is good. I love the illuminated metal plate here. The wheels on Mazdas are definitely underrated. These look very, very stylish. You still have good rubber, and the stance of this SUV looks great. So I'm gonna close this door and just, I mean, it looks good from front to back. Very modern. And one of the things about the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the Mazdas is they keep a fluid design for years. They don't jump around and cancel models so much so that you have no idea what their offerings are. So we'll just hop into this one real quick. And I mean, it's not doing too much. You have a lot of black, and it's broken up by some chrome stripping here. I love the metal accents here. This door looks fantastic. I mean, this almost looks like, I mean, if you told me this is a luxury vehicle, I'd believe you. I don't like the screen that looks like it was just, you know, thrown on there, but that is what it is. But this interior looks great. These seats do have bolstering and some contouring, but it's not doing too much. And you do have a digital display here. And this doesn't look super outdated at all. You have heated steering wheel. Yeah, you have a garage opener here. And we'll go ahead and hop in the back. And this is a 2018, so this is a 4-year-old vehicle. But again, just hopping in the back, there's good room here. And it just feels more upscale. And it does cost more than a Chevy or even a Dodge, but to me, it's worth it. You're just getting much more focus and attention to detail with these vehicles. And that's the main thing. Focus and attention to detail. Chevy and Dodge have always scrambled and changed models and canceled models just to try to keep up and get sales. This has a 3rd row. So definitely love that. You do have a little outlet here. I wish there was a button to let these seats up. But anyway, you have an automatic tailgate on this Mazda. And you have dual exhaust, which I always love. This is going to age very, very gracefully. That is one of the things I really, really love about Mazda. Their vehicles are edgy, but they make them in such a way that they don't age poorly. A lot of times when you get edgy, you know, designs that look very modern and crisp, you know, in 2 or 3 years, they're looking super dated. But this is not. It looks square, but it looks, I can't even put it into words. I love the large Mazda logo there. I love the headlights. Normally, I like cars with fog lights, but I don't even miss them on this car. And circular fog lights kind of date vehicles unless they're implemented in such a way as Land Rover has done there. But then we'll step over to the Jeep Grand Cherokee. So this is another vehicle that I would consider over a Chevy, and I don't even know what they offer. Like, I know this is a GMC. They offer something like this, and they have the Traverse and the I can't even remember the other model. And Dodge has the Durango, but I just don't trust those brands. I feel like, you know, Mazda has focus and attention to detail, and then Jeep has just been doing their thing for a while. Like, Jeep Grand Cherokees, I'll give you a little history lesson. In the 90s, they were considered upscale suburban vehicles along the lines of like a Volvo station wagon kind of thing, because back in the day, German automakers did not make SUVs. And, you know, Toyota and the other Honda, the other Japanese brands just caught on. you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s. But this is a solid vehicle. Again, this is not doing too much, but the seats are very comfortable. This has a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine. So nothing revolutionary. It doesn't have a 2-liter twin turbo. But this is the 2014. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this Jeep looks really, really good. And it doesn't look any less modern than a new Toyota, because those things, you know, kind of look dated. But the reason I didn't mention Toyota specifically in this one, and I like those wheels. I like the amount of rubber it has. I know these are kind of small for some people. But getting back to Toyota, their vehicles, they don't look as good on the inside or as classy. They're more functional and kind of simplistic. Whereas I think, you know, this is a good compromise. This is actually a 3-liter diesel engine, actually. So that's pretty dope. And you have good space back here. You have what appears to be a subwoofer back here. This is a 2014, and you have an automatic tailgate. You couldn't even tell me that this was... If I saw this driving down the street and you told me this is a 2018, I believe you. And that's what I love about the Cherokee. These wheels look great. They're not super edgy. And this is a 2015 Jeep. It has a similar design on the inside, but you know, you have Bluetooth, and you know, I like these chrome caps. And then just opening the door, it doesn't look super dated. I mean, this looks like a modern vehicle with a more simplistic take on design. I love the perforations here. You know, you're starting to see some wear here, but that happens on the driver's seat. But yeah, very, very straightforward. These interiors will hold up very, very well. And this is a 2017. So this is a 2017 right here. This is a 2014. I mean, just looking at these vehicles, they don't look super edgy and futuristic, but they just look like quality and class as far as SUVs go. They have a wide enough stance. They look very utilitarian. This is a 2020. So stepping inside this vehicle, I mean, it does look a bit more modern, you know, with the controls and stuff. But I guess my final point about this, and I'm sorry I'm jumping around. My final point about this is you will not be left holding the bag, so to speak, when you buy a Jeep or a Mazda, because they don't move on from designs very quickly and interior trim work and all that stuff. It's pretty consistent for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And that may be boring to some people, but that adds, you know, resale value, because you're not getting people wanting to jump to the next thing and discarding previous models as quickly. Same thing with the Mazda. Very, very nice. Very good. You know, Nissan doesn't change styling as much. You know, I'm sure these are all different years and stuff, but the styling on the outside of these SUVs does not look as good as the Mazda or the Jeep, in my opinion. Obviously, the Mazda looks better, but Jeeps, you know, have the utility, and your wife can drive this, and, you know, she won't be overwhelmed at the dimensions and how to operate and maneuver it. And then, as a man, you could drive this, you know, and not take a hit on your man card as well. Not that it's about other people, but a lot of times cars are an extension of our personality or just who we are in life, and we want them to represent us well. So I think these vehicles do the trick, and that they're well worth saving up that extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 or paying that much just to get in a place that's a bit more quality and cared for.